Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Goff.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him.
And right away, he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you give a little extra attention to him. Get out to the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. The officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Back to throw. Rankin, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position. Now facing third down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. One carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball. Got a full game ahead of him. Hand it to him again. See if they can start to produce.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Prescott now. Over the middle, complete. That's Benson. The 40. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. 85 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they designed every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
60 Pittsburgh.
On first down, it's Freeman. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now look, That wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He completes it to Julio Jones. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Looking to throw. Rankin. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. That one complete. Elliott. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick. But now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence. That is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Throwing on 3rd and long. Rankin complete to Jones. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. That catch puts him 80 away from 1,000. He's now at 920, and 920, that ties him with Torrey Holt.
That's a great name to remember, but the number, 920, almost boggles the mind, doesn't it? You're talking about 80 catches away from 1,000? What a phenomenal achievement if he gets there, and I have no reason to believe he won't.
Pilot, 64, weak. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Watch.
On 4th down, Rankin, a hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
That's complete, right around the 8. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
This will be caught at about the 5. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never got a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Off play action. Rankin. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. A sack by one of the most consistent D linemen in the game, Gerald McCoy. The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Rankin. This one complete to Devontae Freeman. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rankin. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever.
Mike 50. Mike 50. Go. Mike 50, Mike 50. Go.
Operating from the gun. Rankin. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. Now Prescott. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now throw again. Prescott firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10, and he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game. Prescott to throw it, and he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. The kick by Joseph is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Looking to throw. Rankin. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 30. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, They're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
To throw again on second down. Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Now Prescott. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll run on 1st down. Freeman. He's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all Lebanon defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, but it's going to be 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Here's Freeman. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Rankin. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. On 2nd and 9. Prescott got his man complete over the middle. That's Benson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down. Prescott now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Prescott, and he's got his man on the out route.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, past the 20, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play, a pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to a field goal. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Prescott. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep blow with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. The Falcons on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Freeman. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right? But he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
A first down carry by Elliott. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They go to Elliott again. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early, it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now, all of a sudden, the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence. Because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit. But not this group. They always have the confidence that they just get their assignments down, they would get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
On first down, Rankin. This complete to Jones. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 51 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run here with Freeman. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on first and goal. Back to throw. Rankin. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Will Parks. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this two-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. Really solid coverage from the current NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Also had an interception in that game a week ago.
And it was fun to watch him in practice this week, wasn't it? To see how he understands spacing, and when the ball's arriving, which hand to put out in front to try and knock it away. And he just exhibited on that play.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Returnable for Grant. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He completes it to Jones. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Breaking down at the 49. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. On 1st and 10. Rankin looking deep for Julio. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rankin finds his big tight end, Mo Alley Cox. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Rankin. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. On 3rd and 2, Rankin. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on 1st down. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Rankin. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Operating from the gun, Rankin. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I tell you, this was a fun one, just a close game.